How do you keep your components accessible? What do you do if your library doesn't offer all the components that you need? Hi, this is Stephen. Welcome to Exploring Accessibility. I'm sure, like me, the UX on your team has given you designs at one point or another that require some kind of component that you don't actually have. What can you do about this, and how can you make sure that components that you have to build are accessible? W3C has a great site called the Website Authoring Practices Guide, or APG for short. On this website you can find all kinds of information about different ARIA roles, as well as patterns for building components that comply with these roles. You can also discover information about landmarks and their correct use for accessibility, about accessible labels and how they're derived for the accessibility tree, as well as a series of articles and best practices that everybody should be familiar with. The APG has examples for every kind of ARIA role, but not every component that you're going to want to build actually has a role. Every pattern comes with usable examples that you can use within your browser. In addition to this, all expected keyboard behavior for the different roles is also provided, as well as a table of all attributes that are required to make components using these roles accessible. So after you've spent a long time making these accessible components, you actually want to make sure that they stay accessible. I also did a video on this, which you can find in the link below, which will explain how to make components accessible using Storybook Ally and JestAx or ChaiAx if you prefer. The APG also has information about using landmarks. In case you don't know, landmarks are special tags that give structural information to the page, and this information can also be communicated via the accessibility tree to assistive technologies like screen readers. There are many semantic tags already in HTML with implicit roles, but you can also use ARIA roles and other tags to build these landmarks. Obviously, if you follow the rules of ARIA, you should use the semantic tags in preference to ARIA. The article tag is not a landmark according to the specs, but is treated by most assistive technologies as a landmark and thus appears in the screen reader rotor as well. Main is the same, except that you should only really have one main tag in your website. It's treated as a landmark and shows up in the landmarks menu and the screen reader rotor. This is where the main content of your web page should be. This is also where you should link to with skip links in the top of your page that let users of screen readers jump directly to the content. Lastly, don't forget to label all of your landmarks. Every landmark should have a label. This is so that screen reader users can actually see in the rotor what each landmark is for. Otherwise, if you open the screen reader rotor for landmarks, you will just see many different article tags, but you won't know what these articles are for or whether you actually want to focus on them. Like everything else in the accessibility world, the patterns on the APG website are just one possible solution for these roles. They're not the only way that you can make these roles, but they're a good starting point. If you go to any other blog or article on how to make a specific component accessible, you'll find that the author has created a completely different solution to the one you find on the APG. When creating your components, remember the rules of ARIA. Use semantic tags and attributes in preference to ARIA. As the APG website says itself, no ARIA is better than bad ARIA. If you don't know what ARIA is, please see my previous video on ARIA. You can find a link in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to be notified about more videos exploring accessibility.